38 if it's greater than 30. The sample's big enough. So that
The
makes it
sample
normal.
will be normal. The distribution.
Get better later on. Just trying to make sure I'm like.
It's just the only rule of being careful with the sample itself is what it's on. It's the distribution of sample means that's going to be normal. Yes.
Looks like I'm moving to New Zealand.
I found like
Did you look some up? Hey, let's go on
I've been
Zillow.
trying to find a package. I can't afford it, so I gotta get through it. None of my friends want to move out.
Really?
Yeah, it's really stuck.
1 bedroom, 1 bath, 450 square feet is $1,400, which isn't bad, but it's super cute. See? And it's nice.
That the guy wants to feed me for $350 a month plus.
This is also downtown though, on 4th A Street.
I don't want to go downtown, but if I have to, oh, you're right.
Yeah, for 400 square feet, you're gonna at least pay $1,100.
It sucks because it's just like I don't want something big. I just need a place to rest my go to sleep.
The one you stay at your parents.
Put my stuff. What?
The one you leave it stay at your parents. Why?
Because they're moving to Texas.
See, the one I like, it was $1,895 a month for a studio.
Yeah, fuck that. For a studio.
Let's look in New
I
Zealand.
showed my parents the math. It's just like, alright, you guys made like $5 an hour 30 years ago, but that's for a lot of work.
Alright guys, who's that first problem here?
It's ridiculous.
So you guys, you have to trust me. If you don't trust me, that's bad in general for a class. But what I mean specifically now is draw the damn picture. Because then it makes sense what I'm supposed to do with those areas. 0.6517 is too much because it goes too far down. So if I just chop off the 0.539, I'm left with the area in the middle. It only makes physical sense. Thank God. Okay? So if you draw that picture, label it, should be good. Just make sure you put 330 and so forth in the right place, right? Then it will make actual sense. It should be kind of a smaller area, it looks like. And what do you get when you subtract those two? 1158, yeah.
What does that 11 go up?
Say again?
What does that 11 become?
The 11.6. All right, what's that represent? What's that answer represent?
The probability that's
Sure, the shaded area. Now speak more directly to the physical idea of the problem.
The probability that a 3-bedroom flat is picked at random that costs between
Yeah.
330.
So if I pick a 3-bedroom flat at random, that's the probability that it will cost between $330 and $350 a month. Or what percentage of all 3-bedroom flats in Waikato, what percentage of them cost between $330 and $350? 11.58%. You guys hear me? Interested in that at all? Because yes, Jeff might ask you to interpret a percentage. Because it's one thing to get the right number. But especially in statistics, you got to understand what the hell that number means. So there's two main ways you can look at it. It's the probability that you pick one in Waikato that's between 330 and 350, right? You got 11.58% chance of that. Or you could say 11.58% of all the 3-bedroom flats in that area cost between $330 and $350 a month.
$300.
Those are both equally good explanations of what that means physically.
Yeah, you can get this.
Is that okay? Pretty much, yes, exactly.
2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house.
To interpret something, you can almost always include a repetition of the question itself. Yes. Now, guys, let me ask you this first one in a different way. Guys, you see how 350 had 65% roughly below it?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say 350 is in the what percentile?
350.
89.
What's happening? What percentage is below 350?
65.
Okay, so what percentile is 350 in? 65th.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
So this, whatever percentile means you have that much below that thing, right? So in part B, I want the 15th percentile. The really good idea is to first locate that sucker on the normal curve. I know it's normally distributed, same problem. So where would the 15th percentile be? Down here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's only supposed to have 0.15 in that area. So that is the 15th percentile visually. Now I need some numbers. And look how this is exactly the opposite of what's up here. They gave me rents, which are X scores. I changed them into Z scores, and I look up the area. So what am I going to do in part B? They gave me an area. I'm going to look up the Z score, and then I'm going to change that back to a rent, an X score. I'm going to do that XZ percent backwards. Because they gave me a percentage. So this is where you got to be really careful. Do not put that down here. Because you only put Z scores down here. 0.15 is not a Z score. Is everybody cool with that? I know it looks like a Z score. I don't care. We don't quack like a Z score. It's a percentage. It's got to be an area of the chart. So how do I find that Z score then? Well, I look up 0.15, not here. It's not a Z score. I look up where the areas are. And the closest I can get, yeah. Columbus sailed the ocean blue, blah, blah, blah. Killed all the Indians. That sucks. Negative 1.04. Why is that the right answer? Because it's closer. How far away is that from 0.15? 8. And it's 15 away. Aw. Too bad. Somebody asked me if they averaged the 2 Z scores. That's fine, too. Take that.
You could buy a house for
So,
$4,000.
if you agree with me, guys, if you agree with me that that is where the 15th percentile goes, everybody agree with that? Or I might be wrong. I'm just a human. I could be completely wrong about that shit. Anybody think that's wrong? Feel free to tell me if you think so. So you're cool with that, right? Okay. Is that above or below the mean? So the Z score should be
Really tiny.
negative. Not tiny, just negative. That's what a negative Z score means, that it's below the mean. Does it have a damn thing to do with the area? Not really, not in terms of positive, negative. The area's always got to be positive. But why would I not look here? Because is anything close to 0.15?
No.
No, shit. So I'm going to look back here. So again, it's negative 1.04. So the Z score here would be negative 1.04. Now you don't just stop there.
So, you plug in the formula.
You plug it in the formula. And what's a good formula? This is a good formula if I want to know the Z score. This is a good formula if I want to know the X score. So I'm going to use this freaking formula. These are the same formula, by the way. Right? We took the first one, did some algebra to it, and ended up with the second one. It's just the second one is already solved for X. So it's a little better if I know Z and I want X. I use that second one. Will you be wrong if you use the first one? No. It's just a little extra work. So what do I know here? What's the mean? 324.
324.
And the z-score is negative, so it'll be minus 1.04 times
66.9.
66.9. So start at the mean, and then go down this many of these. That's what a z-score means, the number of steps away from the mean you are. In this case, it's negative, so you're below the mean. What do you guys end up with?
254.
254?
42.
4, 2? So that means that if you're in Waikato and you pay $254.42 a month, what percentage of people pay less than you? 15%. What percentage pay higher than you? 85%. So since this is rent, that is a good amount to pay. Of course, you could be putting up with
For real.
No. Could be putting up with an area of town where people die a lot. Maybe that's why it's so cheap, but I don't know. Maybe you just got lucky. There's a nice landlord that doesn't need money. You always pray for that. I remember I used to pray that as I was walking down somewhere, somebody would just come out and say, I said the first person I saw I'd give my house to, and you're the person. I'm like, that never happened. Shit. Now part C. Part C is where we take a sample of 18, and what's my question asking about?
Probability.
The sample mean. So what do I have to do first?
Change the
Change it.
Change the standard deviation. I can't use the one that was given to me because that works for individual places. I need the one that works for groups of 18 places. So I'm going to do all the same work I did up here. I'm just not going to use this. I'm going to use the new one, the one that works for groups. That'll be 66.9 divided by square root of 18. What is it? Who? 15.768? Alright. And now you do all the same work. The mean is the same. I still want to know between 330 and 350. I got to make those into z-scores and so forth. So you use the new standard deviation. That's going to be roughly 0.4.
30.
What is it?
0.38.
0.38?
That's the wrong one.
1.65.
Yeah, I got 1.65.
Yeah, 1.65.
Oh, way off. Well, that's 350. Shit. I thought it was the other. This one should be 0.4 roughly.
0.38. Yeah.
38. So this is 0.38 away from the mean. This is 1.65 away from the mean. I still look up the two areas and then subtract them all with the area in the middle. So when you look up 1.65, get an area of
0.9505.
9505 and 0.38. 6480. So when you subtract those, you get who? 3025. Whew. What's up? That's about right. Everybody cool with that? Say again? For 30, what 30? This. Subtract these two areas, of course. You need the area between two, you subtract the areas. Yes, sir?
Did you do 1.65 minus 0.38?
Definitely not. Why do I not subtract z-scores?
That's not perfect.
What does the z-score tell you, roughly? It just tells you where you are. Is that good enough to say on a test? Hell no. That's just a real quick thing to say in class. It tells me where I am. If I subtract two z-scores, I am now somewhere else. It has nothing to do with 330 and 350 anymore. Sorry, I'm not, no. Because that's a very easy mistake to make. But the areas are subtractable. That makes physical sense. But if I subtract two z-scores, I end up at some other place. You look up the areas and subtract them. just like we did in the first one. All right.
Holy schmoly.
All right. I'll tell you what. Let's take a break before we do this second one. Come back at 5 till. Come back at 5 till.
So cheap. Can't. Screw it. I'm moving to New Zealand now. What? I would be a bajillionaire. Oh, it's so cheap.
Yeah, I know, right?
Think I'm funny?
No. But yeah, I do.
Submit.
They're expensive. California itself isn't expensive. You go any other country like
Hey, I just sent an inquiry to that New Zealand house. Thank you. Proud of myself.
Hopefully it's in a good area.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I'm weird.
One is a 100%.
So.